Hi, this is Tanya from Tanya Love Buddha. It's been a while since I've been on, but this morning I was called to come on and do a video for this Capricorn moon. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait for a few people to come on, see what's coming through, because I feel this is a very important one. So I think it's been about, is it about 4 weeks? No, probably about 8 weeks since I've been on here. So it's strange being back. People are starting to come on now, so that's cool. So right, I'm just going to go straight in with what is coming through about this Capricorn moon. Now, Capricorn is it's steady, okay? It's steady. It's it's the goat. It likes solid footing, even if it's on a mountain like that. It likes to know that its feet are solid and that there's something concrete underneath it. So this Capricorn moon is going to highlight where things aren't concrete, okay, where we don't have that security, where we don't have that safety, because this is of the most important within this Capricorn energy. Now, Capricorn energy can sometimes be it can be very stubborn, it can be unmoving, it can be like, right, okay, this is my way or the highway kind of thing. But what this moon is actually asking us to do at this moment is to find balance within this. Okay, so we have Capricorn one side, this is where the moon is, and we have the sun in Cancer. So they've switched roles. So the sun represents the masculine, sorry, I'm going off it. The sun represents the masculine, and the moon represents the feminine. So what we have here, we have like kind of parental dynamics. So we have the father and the mother. And if you think of, traditional kind of families, think of them rules. The mother is the one where you get the nurture and the cuddles and all of that. And the father is the one that gives you the lessons and, gives you the discipline. But what this is asking us to do here is to merge the two of them. We're adults now, so we don't actually need that that kind of guidance from each of them. So this Capricorn moon is going to highlight areas where we are either too emotional, if we're too in our Cancer sun energy, if that is taken over, it's going to be highlighted that, hold on, we can't just be emotional all the time. We can't do that. We've got to we've got to tap into our emotions, but we cannot let them control us. Okay, that's when we can get out of control and it can be quite immature. Also, we don't have to be so pragmatic, and so logical that we don't take our heart with us in decisions. So this is asking us to find that sweet spot between the two, using our head and our heart in unison. Joe Dispenza talks a lot about, mind heart coherence. And this is what we're wanting to do. When we get the two of them aligned, then we have the strengths from both of them. Okay, so this is really going to be highlighted. What I would do is look at your chart and see where Capricorn is in your chart, and this will show you where it's being highlighted. Now, mine is being highlighted in my communication, in my learning, in my teaching. It's in my third house. So this is why today I was called to do a video when I haven't done one for a while. And another thing, which I'll explain why I haven't done one for a while as well. Another thing with this Capricorn energy is power. A lot of times Capricorn is power. They like to rule. Think of governments, think of things like that, authority, things that put kind of restrictions on us. Okay, this can be very Capricorn energy as well. And a lot of times when it is misused or when it is used in shadow, it not integrated, it can actually be a kind of more of an oppression or a dominion, kind of dominating energy. Now, what we are going to see over the next couple of weeks, I feel, is a fall in this, okay? Because it cannot carry on. And the way the world is going, I mean, the world is crazy at this moment in time. You know, most of you are probably feeling this. Let me know in the comments if you are. But anybody who has abused power, okay, and abused power to try and take from others without their permission, expect them to fall from a high height kind of thing. Now I've got to be very careful what I say about this, okay? Because there is a situation in my personal life where somebody in a position of power abused that power, abused that trust, and both physically and mentally abused that, okay? I've spoke up about it. Okay, how can I teach people to speak their truth when I haven't? So I've spoke up about this. It is going all the way. It's like I say, I can't put too many details in about it. But one of the things I just want to say, you know, and then I'll get back onto the reading, is I feel, as me being the main witness, that my work is going to be kind of pulled to pieces. Okay, this is where they, you know, that when they try and discredit a witness, and I know this is where it's going to be targeted. So I just want to say, if anybody is watching this who I've worked with or who my work has helped at all over the years I've been doing this, if you don't mind, could you please just send me a testimonial, send me a character reference, something like that, because I know when I stand up in court, which it's like, I don't want to do it. I know it's going to be hard, but I know it is the right thing to do. And I know this is where they're going to hit, you know, and try and discredit the work that I do. So anybody, if my work has touched you in any way or helped you, then please, I would really appreciate that, because this is a time when I kind of need a little bit support with that. So back to what I'm saying, my email is below. Okay, so if you want to do that, if you feel it in your heart to do it, then send me an email, and that would be gratefully received. Okay. So why I mentioned that is because this is the fall of power. You know, this is where people that abuse that, it's no more. This is where we can speak up as well. Okay, so there's a lot going on within the world like this. You're probably seeing it, you know, within politics. Expect big changes, especially in the next couple of years. But knowing that everything that is happening is leading up to that. So this moon is very important for our long term. I mean, the energies of this will probably last around the last 2 weeks. I started to get them last week. You know, and I usually do that. And I think that's so that I can do these videos and explain it. But this is going to carry on. So the seeds that we're planting today and at this moment will be the fruits of our future. So we might not see, you know, big changes here, but the seed is going to be planted, and then let this grow and let this unravel. Okay, because Capricorn, when it's in its good energy and when it's integrated, is about the security for our long term. You know, that's where it is. It's very earthy. You know, it's if we plant something, it will grow. And this is what it wants us to do. And, you know, when we look at astrology, and I was thinking about this today when I was getting ready, we all think that, oh God, the universe has given me shit. You know, why am I getting challenged again? Why this? Why me? Blah, blah, blah. The reason is because it's all about you or me or whatever. It's all about like the singular in this. So within this lifetime and this incarnation, we're here to evolve. You know, we're not here just to enjoy life or whatever. We can do that. but the main reason is evolution and our soul's evolution. Okay, so know that anything that is hitting you, okay, anything that feels icky, that's got this kind of resistance to it, okay, know it's working for you. So yeah, she believed she could, so she did. Exactly. um, and this is what we need to know. There is no real positive and negative. It's experience. And through that experience, it's how we react to it. And if we are going, this Capricorn moon is going to be really, really important within this. If we are saying, no, this is the way I do it, this is the way I work, this is the way I play it, this is the way I do it, okay? If we are rigid in our thinking with that, we are going to get hit so much. So the thing is, the more resistance we have, the harder it is. So whatever's coming up, it's best just to try and surrender. Do you know what I mean? It's like suck it up, buttercup, because this is going to actually work for you, even if you can't see that in the moment. So expect a lot of that. Expect little detours. If you do it this way, there's another way to do it. If this is the path you thought you were going on and it's not the path for your highest good, boom, there will be a detour with it. So it's I want to say I don't like this Capricorn energy, but you know what? I really do. I am a person that I do not like discipline. I don't like authority. I don't like rules. The second somebody tells me I should, I know I shouldn't. And I kick back. I don't do it to be rebellious. It's just, there's something in me. I'm a very free spirit. I like this, I don't know, this spontaneous way to live life. Oh, that's what my narrative says, and that's what my narrative has always been. What I am realizing now, because of the transits that we've been having lately, is I do like security. It's easier to be a free spirit when you know you've got that security. It's almost like, when you start to ride a bike when you're young. It was my granddad that taught me to ride a bike, and he would hold the back of the seat, when I was riding, and I kept looking behind to make sure he was there. And then he would let go of the seat, and I would look behind, and he would still be there. He was following me. And there's something about that is good. That gives me a security, knowing that, almost somebody's got my back, or I have something behind me supporting me. Okay. And this is the reason I've came to this insight, is because when you lose everything and you suddenly realize it's not there, it's like, oh, God, I want this stability again rather than this freedom. So I have freedom, I have ultimate freedom. But now I'm realizing that, that's too much on this Cancer side. So what I need to do is bring the balance in and make sure that I have this security and this support. This thing that I've just spoke about there, like I say, I can't go into details, but this week I have had to ask for support from people, and it's been there, and it has been like it's really made me cry, because that's something I don't normally do. And the people that have just showed up and went, I'm there, whatever you need, I'm there, I've got your back. And it's even touching me now when I'm saying that, to just know, wow, there is that security there, and that feels good. So, like I say, this Capricorn moon is wanting us to see the both sides, very kind of Libra energy, which is completely not Capricorn energy, but this is how it's showing me. We need the fun, we need the work. We need, and if you can do your work, which is play as well, then all the better. But, I was talking about this yesterday to a friend, and if we look at human design and gene keys, something I'm fascinated with at the moment, human design is very logical, it's very scientific, it's very masculine in its energy. Gene keys is softer, it's curvier, it's more about our internal than our external. Human design is our external, gene keys is our internal, but the two of them complement each other beautifully. Okay. And this is what this Capricorn moon is wanting us to see. What is it that complements? Okay. And what is it that complicates? Because if we, I love it when they come in with things like that. So does it complement your life? Does it complicate your life? There's the two of them. Okay. Um, and they're talking there about compromise. And when we compromise, we are giving up a bit of ourselves. So they're saying there the compromise isn't good. We don't have to compromise ourselves. You know, if we compromise and we don't allow our heart to fully be open and accept what it is that that heart needs for the nourishment, then we are compromising ourselves and we are compromising our comfort as well in some way. So, right, that's interesting. So, you know, all the C's are coming in: communication, connection, complicated, you know, comply. They're saying, wow. So this is it. You know, where do we have to comply? You know, comply is a horrible word, I feel. It's like it's very, it's this power, you know, that I'm seeing, this power exerted over us. And you know what we need to do in this moment with this Capricorn moon is to actually um to actually see where we are being coerced, to see where we are being compromised as well, and to start saying no when we want to and start saying yes when we want to. Okay, there's none of this trying to please or appease others. This is about us getting our balance right. And when our balance right is right, what will then happen is the frequency and the vibration of others who their balance is right will come into being. Okay, so um what they're saying here as well, which is very interesting, we've got to look at our upbringing, okay? Because I mean, not all of us had the traditional mother father thing, you know, but this is what I'm going into with this, you know, that it's that energy. So look at our upbringing and how it shaped us, you know. How did it shape us? You know, where do we feel that we are not enough because of words that were said to us by our parents or our, you know, our caregivers when we were young? So a lot of times we were criticized, we were loved when we were doing the right thing. So then we become, oh, this is what I've got to do. You know, all of our, the ways that we attract love, the way that we attract acknowledgement, the way that we attract kind of validation will stem from how love was given or how praise was given when we were young. Okay. And we've got to look at and say, was that right? Was that what we needed at that time? You know, a lot of times, this is like if you look at love languages, you know, I love languages. I really love them. Mine are, it's the first three that are most important. And mine are touch, words of affirmation, and quality time. And they often say that our love languages are what we didn't get as a child. You know, somebody just putting their hand on my shoulder and saying, you know, Tanya, you're cool. I went to the doctor's the other day and he turned around and he went, you know what, you're doing all right, kid. And I almost wanted to cry. I was like, do you want to marry me or something? You know, just the fact of that acknowledgement was, you know, it really, really touched my core, just being called kid, you know, and it was like, it was so lovely. So this is what we've got to look at, you know, what is it we need? What is it we need from that father, that ideal father, you know, that none of us had, you know, because as parents, we are human beings. You know, we're going to fuck up. We don't know it all. So looking at that, what is it you want in that structure of, you know, the father? What is it you wanted in that structure of the mother? And how can you give them things to yourself? Okay, how can you reparent yourself with the wisdom and the knowledge that you have now? Because you know it, you know what you need. Every single one of you watching this knows exactly in this moment what you need to take you where you need to go or where you want to go. Okay, but we'll skirt around it and we'll make the excuses and we'll do all of that and put the blame on somebody else. But whenever you point the finger, blame, there's three pointing back at you. So it's always about us. And what is happening in our outer world is always a reflection of our inner world. So this Capricorn moon, is anybody feeling it? How is it feeling for you? I like it, but it's different. It's different energy to what I would normally say I like, if that makes sense. So I'm going to pull some cards and see what these are saying. That was just what I was picking up. I mean, we've got some crazy stuff going on. And I don't want to say, like cut our emotions off. This is where we've got to hold space for them. We've got to allow them. As I said, Capricorn can often be about communication as well. This is speaking up, speaking what we need, speaking what we want, speaking what is not okay, and speaking what is okay, you know. Um, Acknowledging, this is it, like thanks, gratitude, things like this. A lot of times we forget to say these to people. We take things for granted, for the people that are around us, but then when we haven't got them, then that is when we realize how important they are. So it's a lot of, basically, it's looking at our structure. Are we actually giving out what we want to receive? And if not, then if we change our being, then things will change. If we always do what we've always done, then we will always get what we've always got. And this will be a struggle again. Life is not meant to be a struggle, it's meant to be lived. Okay. Even in the hard times, try and find that humor, try and find that beauty. What is the blessing in this mess? Because there is always one, and whatever mess is there, um, whatever mess is there, it can be cleaned up. So I might do. Tanya has that sweet and comforting ASMR voice and tone. That's really strange, Small Mind Flowers. My half brother messaged me a couple of months ago and went, "You really need to do ASMR tarot." And I was like, "What, me?" I'm like a foghorn a lot of the times. But thank you for that. That's nice. So yeah, it's like, um this is an invitation, for us to have our needs met, to find that safe space, to be seen, to be heard by even ourselves. This is what we need, because this is the work that we need to do. Now, I'm pulling these cards here, and all they're saying is, it's like we're worn out. It's like we are worn out, where there's a real feeling of being in a bit of a head mess here, being worn out. But what I want to say is, please don't allow what is going on in the head to actually dictate or to make you think that is where you're at. Because what they're saying here is, if you tap into your heart, it might be tired, but it is still strong. It is beating. Okay. If you're watching this, your heart is beating. It is still there. It is still fighting. So this is where you have to keep loving. Okay. Your head might go all over the place. Your head might be full of stuff. Okay. But tap into your heart, and that will help to almost soothe your head. Don't know why it's saying this, because we're not looking at the past anymore. We're not. What this moon is wanting us to do is look forward and go, right, we've had our past. We know how that is. We know that if I do this, then this happens. Okay. So what this is wanting us to do here is go, right, what parts of this do I want to take into my future? And what parts do I want to leave behind? What is it that I need to bring into my future in order for it to be the future I want? And I feel I've spoken about this so many times and it keeps coming up. And I know I have big work to do on this and it's there and it's ready. It's just not the right time yet. It's all like shelved. It's ready just to open the floodgates. And, this is talking. Here you go, this is what it's saying. We need to, it's this masculine, feminine energy, which is Capricorn and Cancer. This is it. Mother, father, partners. Where's the balance? The yin yang. This is what we need to do. And if we are scared of integrating that, we all both we all have both within us, okay? We have a masculine side, we have a feminine side. And most times with people, one of them is overdeveloped and one of them is underdeveloped, one of the things I always say is when I am in England, I really have to step into my masculine side. It's a struggle. It's like, right, you've got to get through life. You've got to do this. I don't like that. I don't like that. I like the softness of the feminine. I'm able to do that when I'm away from England. And what is interesting the other day, just to bring this up, I was doing some research and doing some work and just sitting with my thoughts about this. And I'm just going to find it because I wrote it down. I didn't even think I'd be mentioning it. I didn't think it was relevant today, but they're showing me that this is. And where is it? Sorry. Oh, I kind of. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. So I was looking back over past relationships and things like that, and every single one of them give me exactly the medicine that I needed at that time. But I was just looking back over them, right, and thinking about myself in them, because I wasn't perfect. Like I say, we learn, and we evolve. And I was the breadwinner. I was the breadwinner. I was the one that done this. I was the one that put the shelves up. I was all of that because that is stuff that I can do. I do things like pretty easily like that. If there's something that I can work out how to do it. And what I realized was a lot of the, well, a lot of them, pretty much all of them, there wasn't a strong masculine within my relationships. Um, there was alpha a lot of times, but not strong masculine. Nobody ever said, "Don't worry, I've got this." Don't worry, I've got this. I had to bring the discipline, the plans, the all of that. And I was thinking about it and I thought, is there resentment there? No, there's disappointment. There's disappointment that, that was how things were. But what I then realized, which was such a big insight, and, let me know, anybody, whatever, masculine, feminine, whatever, let me know if this makes sense to you. Um, what I realized was it wasn't the fact that I had to do all these things. These things I can do and I can do them easily. It's easier to do them. It was the fact that I wasn't given the space to be in my feminine role. I wasn't given that space. I had to step into the masculine and be the feminine. And that is where the disappointment is, you know, and maybe, I wouldn't have accepted that then because I know as a strong woman, you're independent. I was always told, never let a man run your life, Tanya. You take control, blah, 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 all of that, all of this wounded feminine stuff that is spoken about to us, this wounded like Cancer energy, this emotional stuff. But, now I am strong enough in myself that I can accept that. I know, it's nice when somebody opens a door for you. One of my friends, I've mentioned this before, they stepped up when I couldn't. And I said, wow, I've never, I really appreciated you in that moment. You made me feel very safe. And they went, yeah, because you let me. And the feminine is receptive. The masculine is penetrative, and a lot of times, I'm working a lot with guys at the moment, I'm doing a lot of work with them, and I'm working with women as well. And it's the fact that we're not being heard, we're not being seen. It's going over the heads. And a lot of times the masculine are saying that they're feeling that they're demasculinated. Sorry, I'm not good with my words. Demasculinated, or they are being put down. And this is the thing where we've got to see through the eyes of the other as well and say, are we giving out what we want to receive? Because I can tell you now, and this is going to be pretty controversial. Somebody called me, what was it the other day? And I thought it was really funny. Somebody said that I was, I think it was an internal misogynist or something. It's like, yeah, right, okay. It really made me laugh. But what I'm saying is, the feminine has a stronger voice at this moment. Not in all cases. This is why I spoke up last week about this thing that happened, because I need to, it's not about me, it's about other people, and I need to stop this. And if I can be a voice to others, and yeah, I get that, Emily, when you're saying there, we need men to be men. But the thing is, we need to allow them to be men, because all we say is talk about your emotions. You don't speak up. You don't talk about things and all of that. And the second they go, hold on a second, I'm not feeling good, or I feel emotional, we go, oh, shut up. We've had it harder. And this is where we've got to, this is where we've got to actually recognize that we have to give out what we want to receive. Nobody is saying that if a man is emotional or something like that, or they're having a bad time, that actually disregards, that disregards what women have been through. Nobody's saying that. And this is where we need to see, the masculine is hurting. The masculine is hurting massively, as is the feminine. But we can never heal our feminine until we start to acknowledge and heal the wound of the masculine. We talk about the patriarchy. It's bullshit. It's horrible. The things that have been done. It's this abuse of power, this Capricorn, which I'm talking about. But realize that this patriarchy has also done as much damage to the masculine as it has to the feminine. And we've got to recognize that. If we want our wounds recognized, we need to recognize that the other is wounded too. And we need to, as I said there, this is when we get into our head and our heart. It is not a battle. This is where we can come together. All these fights that we're having in our head and these places where we're not feeling safe, we're not feeling heard, we're not anything like that. If we incorporate and if we listen, we will be heard. If we speak, we will be listened to. And we've got to see this. If we want to be comforted, then we must comfort. This is it. It's not rocket science. It's fucking simple. Yeah, we complicate things and we don't communicate in a way that is heard by each other. And this is what is so important. If we open our hearts can become closed. And when our hearts are closed, we do this because maybe we've had bad relationships, maybe we've been abused, maybe blah, 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 whatever. And we close our heart. And what happens when we close our heart is that pain is trapped in it. Okay? So what we need to do is we need to open our heart. When we can have compassion for the other, we will get compassion back. Think about what you're feeling at this moment in time. What is it you need? What is it you're lacking? What is it you're scared to ask for? And then go out and give that to somebody else. When we're feeling helpless, help someone. Because this is where the world will change. And this is what I'm passionate about, and this is why when I stand up on that court, and I know they will try and bring me down, but this is why I do what I do, because I believe the world can change. I have a belief, I see it. And, it's we need to speak it into being. So Emily's saying there, we need to help them feel confident and comfortable enough with you to show these feelings and respect that. It's amazing. And don't betray their trust. Exactly. There is a situation that is close to home here. Again, I can't go into it because it's other people's stuff. but somebody speaking very openly and very honestly and very transparently with somebody. And the second they then didn't do what this person done, boom, this person has thrown everything back at them. You know, almost like I'm seeing there, like, what is it, like in American football? Bang! There you go, you know, and use that against them. You know, that is why the masculine does not trust the feminine. You know, that is why. Because when the feminine is wounded, it will use whatever it has to attack. And then the masculine will back off. And then we go, why are they backing off? And it's just this crazy game that people, you know, it's so plain to see. And, you know, it all stems down. This is the challenge that we have. You know, it all stems down to our childhood, to what we didn't get from our mother or father, from what the roles, what we did get from our sorry, what we did get from our mother and father, and what role we were taught to play, and how we were taught to, you don't do this, you don't do that, you know, keep them guessing, play hard to get, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit, absolute bullshit. And this is now where we're adults, where we can stand back and go, right, okay, that plan doesn't work. That's not going to work into the new world that we're going into. So I need to listen to my heart, see what my heart is saying to me, and I also need to then ask the advice of my head. This is where the transformation is coming. This is what this Capricorn moon is about. Okay. And like I say, this isn't about being hard and in Capricorn, because that isn't what it's about. You know, this is about taking the softness of the Cancer and merging it. It's merging, it's unity, it's union. That's what they're saying. Wow, this is where we are going into smoother waters. Things are going to feel better. The turbulence that we've had is calming down. You know, when we calm down, and when we can see that contentment, and we can have that gratitude for what we actually have, and when we can work together. Oh God, why when somebody, when phone. Sorry about that. So we have to have a different idea, and this is what it's wanting us to do. This is wanting us to work together within our own inner masculine and inner feminine, within the outer masculine and the outer feminine. You know, any illusions, anything that these old ideas that are there, you know, let them go, because that is not going to be helpful for our future. And that is not going to help us build a solid foundation for what is to come. Okay. Hey, Richard. How you doing? You're in White Sands National Park observing the moon. Amazing. Please give it my love. So this is it. We're not seeing it. So anything that we're not seeing that is going to help our future, not just personal, but of the collective, is going to be highlighted over this Capricorn moon. Okay. So that's it. I'm going to have to quickly do these readings. The masculine has a duty to see the damage. Oh, wow. Yeah. I'm interesting that you deleted that one. Good night, Irene. Because, yeah, the masculine does have a right to see the damage that's been done, but the feminine also has a right to see the damage that has been done to the masculine. This is where we need to change our thought pattern. Okay. This is why, you know, and see everybody, you know, and it's not about equality. You know, it's not about that. There are things masculine energy are stronger at. There are things feminine energy are stronger at, you know. And what I find is a lot of women at this moment in time, they do not want equality. They want revenge. And this is what we need to heal. And I am speaking that as a woman who sees this hurt, who feels this hurt. You know, I feel the hurt of the feminine, but I also see the hurt and the damage of the masculine as well. Okay, so we've got to swip it. We've got to flip it. Flip it, swip it. I went to say switch and then I said flip at the same time, so it was flip it. Two seconds. I'm just on YouTube. So that's it. Something's just happened there. I'm going to have to go. What I will do, if you go to my Instagram, I will post some readings for the signs. so sorry about this. At least there was a little bit about this Capricorn moon. I hope it's helped. Please see that it's when we change, things will change. Okay. So if we are in this old, stuck, rigid mindset, it's not going to take us into the future that we want and that we want to see. Okay. So sorry about that. I send you so much love. And please just listen to this and see what really lands in your heart, not what actually your head starts to work out with this. Okay. So send so much love to you. Speak up, speak your mind, but always make sure it's kind. Sat now.